Hi everyone, we're looking today at a card that I did in a class this week, and it's a bit difficult to show you, but it's a zigzag card. It has an aperture in the middle, and this is a bauble which I've got dangling from a piece of fishing line. I'll show you other examples. I'm not going to show you one decorated, but I'm going to show you the basic construction of it, and then we'll go and have a look at some of the examples that I've made. But I thought this should be quite a quick one for you to make, and it looks really impressive. So we're going to start. I have used a double-sided card. This is polka dot on one side and plain on the other. So the first thing I'm going to do is to fold it so that this plain image is inside the card, because I want you to be able to see inside to this bit. Okay, so it would be this bit that is inside. So I'm just going to fold that. If you put it on your scoreboard, then it's about 15 centimetres. So I'm going to give that a burnish down, and there is the start of our card with the blue inside. Now we're going to look at the other piece here, which is our zigzag. So it starts off, doesn't matter which way we go, we can reverse the folds. So we're going to start off by folding normally, and I'm going to fold back on itself. This would be 7.5 on your scoreboard. I'm just doing this quickly, and that would be a normal Z fold, and we're going to fold this one back on itself, so it's a double Z fold. Let's just get that a bit neater. Now, there is my Z fold. The piece that comes forward is the centre of our card, which we're going to cut the aperture out of. Now, this thing here, imagine I've got a blue background that I'm going to look at. I can decide whether I want polka dots on this side, or whether I want to have blue on the inside. So the pieces that I've made up, I'm going to have this blue polka dot. So I'm going to fold it like that. So this is the piece that we're going to cut our aperture. Now you can put it on a die cutting machine and cut an aperture out. It can be any shape you want, but I thought for the benefit of those that don't have an aperture, don't have a die cutting machine, I would do it the long way. So what I'm going to do is, using any shape at all, circle, rectangle, anything you like, I'm drawing half of a shape. So I'm then going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut around, and I'm actually cutting off the mark that I've just put on there so that I don't have to go round and rub it out afterwards. So I'm carefully going round. There we go. So I'm going to discard that one, and now when you look at it, right, I'm going to turn it up that way because I want a smaller piece at the top than at the bottom. There is my zigzag with my aperture. Now when we come to place it inside, you'll see that we've now got the makings of a beautiful card. Okay, so what we need now is, if we have a look inside here to hang anything on there, I've done a little brace. So the easy way to do that is I'm going to cut a strip there. I'm going to put it on my scoreboard and I'm going to score very simple measurements: 5, 10, 15, 20, and I'm going to go 22, and I'm going to cut it off at 22. Right, this is my flap for joining. So I'm going to place a little bit of double-sided tape onto there. Now, the thing when you're joining a square or a rectangle is, because both sides are equal, let's just get that one down there. Okay, you don't have to hang, if you don't have to hang it up in the air, press one over there, press this one over here, and it should meet perfectly. So I just give it a quick squish both ways, and there is my join. Okay. Right, I'm going to now put 2 strips of double-sided tape right across, covering the join. And I'm going to take my card and I'm going to match up the fold there, and I'm going to bring down this a little way. This is about 1/2 centimetre, a little way from the top so it isn't showing, and I can pull that forward, and there is my brace ready to hang something on. Now, one of the other tricks that I do, right, is to fold that in half, and I do a little nick there, and if I can turn it round that way, a little nick there. So let me see if I can show you. If I put my hand in there, you can see a little nick top and bottom. Now that's when I tie something round there to hang, it's not going to slide either way, it's going to stay in that middle. Okay, so we're going back to our aperture, and I'm going to fold it back, and I want 2 strips of double-sided tape. One, 2, turn it over, and 2 on the other side. There we go. Now, this is my narrow one, so this is going to go on there. So I'm going to take off my double-sided tape. I'm going to line it up with this edge here and fix in place. Okay. Then I'm going to take off my second one, lift it up. If you lift it up, both pieces of tape aren't going to go down before you're ready. So there is my second piece, and now when I fold my card, you can see the aperture is in place and also the brace is standing up nicely. Okay, so rid of my rubbish. I've prepared a panel for the front, and all I've done is I've added a little bit of silver. Don't forget, I'm not decorating this one because this is just to show you the technique, and you can put anything on it, and I'm going to show you some examples in a minute. So if you get any bits of tape that are stuck, just poke them back in again. Right, there you go. So again, lift up so that not too much is going down. And when you're ready, let it go down. So there's the front of my card ready to decorate. Open it out, and now these panels here we're going to decorate. And what I've done is I've cut 2 panels, and they are 6.5 centimetres wide and 20 centimetres long, and I've put a little mat around them. So I'm going to use for this some wet glue, because it gives me a little bit of wiggle room, because what I don't want to do is interfere with this crease. So on it goes. So I've got a little bit of wiggle room onto there, and onto this one. Glue's a bit smelly, but it's very good glue. There is my next one. That one slipped a little bit. There we go. So there is my card all ready to decorate. So let's have a look at some of the ones that I did earlier. So this was the one that we did in class, and I'd printed them off a doily on the front, a nice green background, and they had a blank area here which they die cut whatever greeting they wanted. Okay, a little bit of gold mat around them. So here we have 2 of the green panels that match the front. We have a printed poinsettia on the top and some fir cones on the bottom. Now when I tip it up, there is the brace in the middle, and this one, because my front and back were not the same shape, right, I've put a die cut circle in the middle, and then both sides are pretty when it turns. So there goes, if I can, it's a bit difficult when I tip it, it doesn't swing, but that is the bauble that swings. Okay, right, now we're going to have a look at this one. Whoops. Right, this one I haven't put anything in the background, nothing dangling, and it's got no brace. Okay, so this is just another way that you can do it. I would be tempted to put a verse in here because I've put all my decoration on the outside. Okay, on the front I would put some matching flowers on there. Okay, so that's another version. This one I've used a die cut, a fancy die cut, to go around the aperture. Oops, that one's slipping. Let's add a bit more glue to that one. Right, this one has got a front on. I'm going to put another one of the motifs on the front. Okay, I've got some Christmas roses that I've put around here, and if I pull this out, the little dangly bit is 2 winter scenes. Okay, and this lovely picks up the pale apricot. Right, so that is the dangly bit, and again you can see I've nicked this so that the dangle stays in the middle. Now, if you were to fix the dangly bit to this bit, right, when you close the card, it would stick out. So it's important to put the brace in so that you can set your little motif that's dangling right in the middle, still visible, but it does save it coming out of the card, not a sign of it there, and it's a real surprise when you open the card and find it there. Right, last example I've got had to be a Christmassy one. So if we look at the front, I've got a manger scene, and all I've done is put a little bit of gold around it, and it's got a friends and family are the true gift of Christmas. Okay, so when we open this, I've put a scene in the background. I've put the same scene just blown up a little bit more either side as my panels. These were die cut nativity characters. There's, if I can show you here, there's a little star, and that I haven't suspended it, but I've just stuck it onto the brace. So there's my brace, and the star is just dangling down from there. So here we've got Mary and Joseph, a shepherd, and we've got some animals at the front, and I've split up the 3 kings. Okay, so that is another beautiful one. You can see there is so many ways that you can do this. So have a go at making a basic fold to begin with. This one I've just drawn around a rectangle, and actually I've just chamfered this up a little bit so that the star is more visible. Okay, it's difficult to show it when I'm working flat with the camera above, but it really looks lovely when it's stood up. Okay, so have fun. God bless.